Right, moving on to our last question. We are required to determine what the dimensions of a box if the volume is to be maximum. Now remember, grade 12, when dealing with calculus, immediately they say to you maximum or minimum, they simply means find the first derivative. So in this case, remember, we have found out that the volume in terms of x is equals to 120x minus 18x cubed all over 5. That was our volume in terms of x. Now they are saying to us we are required to find what? To find the dimensions of the box if the volume is said to be maximum. If the volume is said to be maximum, that simply means we are going to find the first derivative and solve for x in this case. So for volume to be maximum, we say v prime is to, you differentiate this with respect to x, you are going to have 120 minus 18 times 3, it will be 54x squared all over 5. Now for maximum and minimum, you equate the first derivative to what? To 0. So it simply means v prime has to be equal to what? To 0. And v prime is what? This is our v prime. So we have to equate this to what? To 0. So we are going to have 120 minus what? Minus 54x squared all over 5 is equals to 0 if the volume is to be maximum. So we are going to solve for x in this case. So we are going to have 120 is equals to, I'm going to transpose this to that side, 54x squared all over 5. This is over 1, then you cross multiply. When you cross multiply, you are going to have 54x squared is equals to 120 multiplied by 5. I think 120 multiplied by 5, it will be 600. You divide here by 54, divide here by 54. So x squared is equals to, when you divide this by 54, it will be 100 all over 100 all over 9. Remember, we are solving for what? We are solving for x here. So x is equals to plus or minus the square root of 100 all over 9, which will give us what? Which will give us plus or minus what? Plus or minus 10 over 3. But in this case, we are going to take the positive one. We're going to take the positive answer. Why the positive answer? Because the positive answer, it will yield what? It will yield a maximum volume of the box. And the negative answer here, it will yield what? It will yield a minimum volume of the box. And remember, they said if the volume is to be maximum. So for the volume to be maximum, we're going to take a positive answer here. So x is equals to positive 10 over 3. But remember what we are looking for here. We are looking for the length, we are looking for breadth, we are also looking for the height. So we found the value of x, so we are just going to substitute the value of x there. Our height, which is y, is equals to what? 20 all over, it is 20 over x, but what is the value of x? The value of x is 10 over 3, minus what? Minus 3, the value of x, it is 10 over 3, all over 5. Our height will be how much? It will be 4 centimeters. That is our height. Our length, it is equals to what? The length is 3x. But what is the value of x? The value of x is 10 over 3. So we are going to have how much? 3 will cancel 3. You have 10 centimeters. Our breadth also, our breadth is 2x. But what is the value of x? The value of x is 10 over 3. So the answer here, it will be 20 all over 3 centimeters. So these are the values of the dimensions of the box. These are the dimensions of the box.